Hey everyone, it's time for your Monday Daily Trucker News Update. I'm Isela Rios.
And I'm Carlin Stafford. We have a lot of news to cover today, including the changes proposed by the U.S. Postal Service, the scoop on new devices put up in Indiana, and what a pair of UPS drivers did that saved a man's life.
So let's get trucking.
The U.S. Postal Service announced a 10-year plan last week, and it plans to add a day or more to first-class mail delivery, higher rates, and reduce post office hours. Right now, first-class mail delivery is 1 to 3 days. In the new plan, it would be stretched to as many as 5. However, the service said mail delivered to a local area will still arrive in 1 to 3 days, and, quote, 70% of all first-class mail will arrive within that 3 days or less. The plan also detailed moving away from air transport and focus more on ground transportation. The service says the plan, which will also introduce pricing flexibility for mail categories and increase stamp costs, could generate nearly $44 billion. The plan now heads to the Postal Regulatory, that's always a tough word, Commission for approval.
The Federal Highway Administration recently awarded almost $19 million to 8 states to test user-based funding methods: Ohio, Kansas, Minnesota, some members of the Eastern Corridor Coalition, Delaware, and Utah. All receive funds. This will allow the states to explore user-based ways to provide long-term support for the Highway Trust Fund. Right now, the trust fund paid for by the federal fuel tax, which hasn't risen since 1993. Usage-based fees have been discussed on federal level for a while, and Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg has mentioned he could support a usage fee, but privacy concerns would need to be addressed. You may recall the American Transportation Research Institute recently released a study that showed the cost of implementing a usage-based model could exceed $15 billion.
You know, we haven't seen a real, tax increase on fuel, but right now I think the average federal tax is like 18.5 cents, and then for diesel it's like 24.5. Like, it's a ridiculous amount already, but maybe that usage fee, if they can get some things figured out, might be the way to go.
We'll see.
We'll see indeed. The California Department of Transportation, Caltrans, has also received more than $2 million from the U.S. Department of Transportation for the ongoing research and alternatives to the state gas tax to fund road and highway maintenance. The program would look into a road charge system charging drivers for the miles they travel. The director of Caltrans says as the state moves towards a zero-emission future, the state needs to understand how a road charge program would impact all who live in the state. California is also partnering with Oregon to explore a regional road charge system.
If you frequent Indiana, you may have noticed something that looks like this picture: a pole with cameras on them. Don't be alarmed. These devices are part of the Waymotion system in DOT. It's piloting for research. The system weighs trucks as they pass, so you won't have to go through a weigh station. This is just a pilot program. Laws would still need to be passed in order for the information to be used for compliance and enforcement purposes.
It's really cool to see some of that new technology that have, and as all truckers know, time is money. So if you're not having to stop at a weigh station, I'm sure they're okay with it.
That's what I was going to say. That just saves a lot of time.
Right? Well, a pair of UPS drivers are being called heroes after they saved a man's life in Nevada. Julie Jefferson and Spencer McVeigh were driving on US 95 near Tonopah, just north of Las Vegas, in February when they saw the accident. A truck had jackknifed, pinning a man underneath, nearly severing his leg. The drivers jumped into action using a bystander's belt as a tourniquet. The two stayed by his side until paramedics arrived nearly 45 minutes later. Man, that was a time to wait. But first responders say the quick thinking of the pair kept the man from bleeding out, saving his life.
This is such a heartwarming story. A colorblind UPS driver of 44 years retired earlier this month, and his friends bought him a pair of Inchroma glasses as a present that allowed him to see color for the first time. Check out this sweet video posted on Twitter.
Yeah. You can see the colors? Yeah.
That's orange, purple, green.
You can see them.
Seeing videos like that of people who can see color for the first time, or those who get a hearing aid and they can hear for the first time, it's really heartwarming. It's great to see.
It is, and it was nice. I got to see the video. It just shows where he's calling out colors on the balloon. So that's exciting. After so many years, you can actually see the real
actually see colors. So
yes.
That's pretty awesome indeed.
Well, that does it for today's update.
Tune in tomorrow for all that trucking news you need.